Hello, my dear students, and welcome back. I know. Exams are just around the corner, right? But please, don't you worry one bit, because I am here to make this chapter, Working of Institutions, super simple for you. We're going to make sure you are absolutely ready to ace it. All right, so what's our game plan today? First, we'll look at a real story, a single piece of paper that actually shook the whole of India. Then we'll meet the big players, the three main pillars of our government: Parliament, the Executive, and the Judiciary. You can think of them as our Team India, right? And finally, we'll do a super quick revision just for your exam. So let's get started. Okay, first up, let's start with a story. A bit of a real-life political thriller, actually. We're going to see how one simple government order, just one piece of paper, created such a huge storm. Now have a look at this. It looks like a very boring, simple sarkari notice, doesn't it? Just a plain old government paper. But believe me, this one document, an office memorandum from 1990, it sent shockwaves across India. Why? Because it announced that 27% of all government jobs would now be reserved for socially and educationally backward classes, or SEBCs. This was a massive decision. So that brings up the big question, right? The main question of this whole chapter. Who can even make such a huge decision for the entire country? Is it just one person? A group of people? The answer to this is exactly how we'll understand how our government works. You see, a big decision like this, it never happens overnight. It's a long story. It all started way back in 1979 with something called the Mandal Commission. They gave their report in 1980. Recommending this 27% reservation. But then, for almost 10 years, nothing happened. The report was just sitting there. Then, in 1989, a political party promised to implement it if they won the election. And they did. So in 1990, the order was finally issued. But wait, the story isn't over. There were huge protests, people went to court, and finally, in 1992, the Supreme Court gave its final decision. So you see, it took more than a decade. And this was a huge deal. The entire country was talking about it, debating it. You know something is really big in India when even a mool makes a cartoon about it, right? This wasn't just some boring political stuff. It was about thousands and thousands of job opportunities. It was about the future of so many young people just like you. So this whole story is the perfect entry point to understand our first major institution. I mean, where did these big debates even happen? Well, that place is the Parliament. It's the voice of the people. So what exactly is Parliament? Well, to put it simply, it's the most powerful lawmaking body in all of India. It has the president and two houses. You've heard of them, right? The Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha. Just think of it like a giant hall where all the people we elect, our MPs, come together to discuss and make laws for all of us. Okay, so these two houses, Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, what's the difference? While the Lok Sabha is the House of the People. We the people directly vote for its members every 5 years. Simple. The Rajya Sabha is the Council of States. Its members are elected by the MLAs from our states. The Lok Sabha has a 5-year term, but the Rajya Sabha is a permanent house, with members serving for 6 years. And here's the key thing. Lok Sabha has more power, especially when it comes to anything related to money. Got it? Okay, bachcho. Listen up. This is a super important exam question. Put a big star next to it in your notes. The question is, why is the Lok Sabha more powerful than the Rajya Sabha? Here are your 3 points. 1, it has way more members. So if there's a joint meeting, their decision will most likely win. 2, it controls the money. All the big decisions about the budget happen here. And 3, and this is the most important one, the Prime Minister and his team can only be in power if they have the majority support in the Lok Sabha. So please remember these 3 points. So, we've seen that Parliament makes the laws, but who actually does the work? Who makes sure these laws are followed? That brings us to our next team, the guys who execute the plan. We call them the Executive. Now the executive team has 2 types of players. You have the political executive. These are our ministers, the Prime Minister, people we vote for. They take the big decisions. On the other side, you have the permanent executive. These are the civil servants, the IAS officers, IPS officers. They are appointed for a long time, and their job is to implement the decisions made by the ministers. Remember our Mandal Commission story? The decision was taken by the political executive, but the officer who actually signed that paper was from the permanent executive. But wait a minute. That brings up a really interesting question. doesn't it? Think about it. The civil servant is an expert. They know their department inside and out. The minister might be new. So why does the minister have more power? Why did they get the final say? Let's figure this out. And the answer is really beautiful, and it's at the very heart of our democracy. It's because in a democracy, the will of the people is the most important thing. The minister is chosen by us, the people. They have to answer to us. The expert civil servant is not elected, but the minister is. And because the minister represents the people, they have the final say. It's as simple as that. Okay, let's look closer at this political executive team. The best way to understand it is to think of it like our Indian cricket team. The prime minister, he's the captain, of course. Then you have the cabinet ministers. These are the senior players, the Virat Kohlis, the Rohit Sharmas of the team, who handle the most important ministries like defense, finance, home affairs. And then you have other ministers of state who are there to assist them. This whole group together is called the Council of Ministers. Okay, so we have one team that makes the rules, Parliament. We have another team that plays the game and follows the rules, the executive. But what if there's a fight? What if someone says, hey, that's not fair, that's against the rules? Who decides? Well, for that, you need an umpire, and that's our third and final institution, the judiciary. Let's go back to our Mandal story. When the government made that order, lots of people felt it wasn't right. So where did they go? They went to the final umpire. They went to the Supreme Court. And that's exactly what the judiciary does. It settles fights and disputes. Our court system is built like a pyramid. Right at the top, the final boss for the whole country is the Supreme Court. Then, for each state, we have high courts. And at the local level, we have the district courts. It's called an integrated judiciary, which just means that whatever the Supreme Court decides, well, that's the final word, and every other court in the country has to follow it. And let me tell you, our judiciary in India is one of the most powerful in the entire world. It's completely independent. Its main job is to be the guardian of our constitution. It can even tell the parliament, hey, the law you made is wrong, or tell the government this action is not allowed. If they feel something goes against the constitution, they can just cancel it. Wow, that's a huge, huge power. All right, my champions, we're almost at the finish line. Let's do a super fast revision to lock all this in your mind. This is going to help you write those perfect exam answers. This table is your golden ticket for a perfect answer. Look how it uses our Mandal case example to show who did what. The cabinet, it took the big decision. The president, he made the formal announcement. The government officials, our permanent executive, they issued the actual paper. And finally, the Supreme Court, it settled the dispute. See, this is a fantastic way to frame your answer for the exam. So if you get confused with all the details, just come back to this one slide. This is the ultimate summary. Legislature, which is parliament, makes the laws. Executive, which is the government, implements the laws. And judiciary, the courts, resolves disputes. Just remember 3 words: make, implement, resolve. Simple. And now, before we finish, a question for you, my future leaders of India. If you were given the power just for one day, what is one rule you would make so that these institutions can work even better for all of us? Think about it, okay? Because it's your ideas that will build the India of the future. And that's it. We're done. See, it wasn't so difficult, was it? You are all so smart, and I know you are going to do great. So all the very, very best for your exams. Go and rock it.